All right, y'all, welcome back. I'm TD, that's Matt, and we're going to be watching a video that is a fascinating waste of federal funds in this whole green initiative and green agenda. And if you thought that Solyndra was an incredible, inordinate waste of tax dollars in the name of green and renewable energy and all that stuff, this is incredibly compelling and fascinating. And I would imagine that 99.9% of the people that watch this video doesn't even know that this thing exists.
I didn't know it existed until you were like, hey, look at this video. I'm like,
Yeah.
Really?
And this cost $1 billion. And it was over 70% of it was subsidized by federal grants. So it didn't cost $1 billion. It cost the taxpayers $1 billion. So, and of course it got mothballed, and now it's been resurrected or whatever, and it still isn't doing anything. But such is green energy. And this is just a microcosm of the entire shenanigans. And it's just gonna be more and more of this. And this is why we're gonna have to eat the bugs and eat the microplastics and eat the protein plastic sludge and all that stuff. Because, you know, save the planet.
Before we get started with today's video, we would love for y'all to go check out our new t-shirts, link down in the description down below. Also we have some farm fresh, locally grown honey on the Texas Boys shop, also with some teas and coffee. So let's get into the video.
Yummy.
One can miss the 10,000 mirrors arrayed around the Crescent Dunes solar energy plant while passing through Tonopah, Nevada, USA. Everyone who takes a look at this is awestruck by this incredible engineering feat. However, the reality is completely opposite, which is quite clear from the fact that the plant's operator gave up on the project in 2020 and filed for bankruptcy protection. Although the controversial billion-dollar thermal solar plant in the Nevada desert is back in operation, what really went wrong? Watch the video till the end as we tell you the interesting details about one of the largest solar thermal tower power generation projects in the United States. A solar thermal power plant works by capturing solar energy and concentrating it to generate enough thermal power to generate electricity. Solar thermal power plants generally use mirrors as reflectors to concentrate sunlight onto the receiver. The Crescent Dunes Solar Energy Project works in the same way with an installed capacity of 110 megawatt and 1.1 gigawatt hours of energy storage. Located around 190 miles northwest of the city of Las Vegas, near Tonopah, Crescent Dunes is the world's first commercially available concentrated solar power facility, featuring a central receiver tower and superior molten salt energy storage. The complete rights of Crescent Dunes plant's owner and operator were given to Solar Reserve, which was a startup energy venture business founded with seed capital from U.S. Renewables Group and United Technologies in 2008. The Crescent Dunes project, which was the first in the United States to use molten salt as a major heat transfer fluid, was backed by a $737 million loan guarantee from the U.S. government and Tonopah's partnership with Cobra Thermosolar Plants. In addition to the promising project, Solar Reserve and NV Energy, which is responsible for generating, transmitting, and distributing electricity throughout northern and southern Nevada, signed a power purchase agreement. The agreement bounded the Crescent Dunes project to provide all power generated for the next 25 years to NV Energy for $0.135 per kilowatt hour. Following the project's groundbreaking in September 2011, construction of the project was halted until the end of 2013 due to many months of testing the plant's systems. The construction of the 110 megawatt plant, which was being designed to supply around 75,000 houses in the city of Las Vegas, was then handed over to the ACS Cobra, who completed the engineering design, bought the necessary equipment and materials, and then built and delivered the facility to Tonopah Solar Energy. The project compromised 10,347 heliostats that capture and focus the sun's thermal energy to melt molten salt flowing through a solar power tower that stands at about 656 feet tall. Every heliostat housed 35 6x6 foot mirrors for a total usable surface area of 1,245 square feet. The mirror distribution is circular in shape, with a total catchment area of 119.74 hectares. The entire complex is 700 hectares in size, including temporary facilities, evaporation ponds, and so on. To generate electricity, the solar thermal power plant uses the 3 C's principle of concentration, collection, and conversion, which is more commonly known as the concentrated solar power generation technology. CSP technique heats molten salts moving through a series of tubes positioned on a central receiver tower using heliostat mirrors that reflect solar light. After that, the molten salt is stored in a big insulated tank. The hot molten salt from the insulated tank passes through a series of heat exchangers, resulting in highly pressurized superheated steam, which is then utilized to power a conventional turbine. The molten salt is then transported from the tower to a storage tank, where it is used to generate steam and power. Even when there is no direct sunlight available, excess thermal energy is stored in the molten salt and can be used to generate electricity for up to 10 hours. As a result of the storage technique, no backup fossil fuels such as natural gas are required. It takes 2 months to melt 70 million pounds of salt. Once melted, the salt remains melted for the life of the plant and is reheated by cycling through the receiver. Following the conclusion of construction, the project entered the commissioning phase in February 2014. It commenced operations in September 2015, but was forced to shut down in October 2016 owing to a molten salt tank leak. The owners alerted the EPC about issues with the salt tank foundations, and the plant reopened in July 2017 after a few progress meetings with DOE and its engineer. As time passed, the concentrated solar power became unsustainable and too expensive to maintain as solar energy saw new breakthroughs. The Crescent project needed custom parts and at least 12 personnel to maintain the solar plant steam generators and keep the plant operational, which was proving too expensive. As generally, any new thermal power plant takes up to 4 years for the commissioning of a new thermal power plant from the first grid connection to full production. Even though the first half year is usually skipped, the first full year's output should be around 40%. The second full year's output should be around 50%, while the third and fourth year's progression should be close to 60% and 70% respectively. A similar trajectory was envisaged for Crescent Dunes, but the breakdown of the storage tanks in 2016 halted the commissioning process. Following that, the first full production year was postponed until 2018 with a 40% output initially. The plant made good progress in the first 3 months of 2019, outperforming all prior monthly data, but it was shut down in April due to many design, construction, and technical issues. As a result, the project was unable to satisfy its sole client, NV Energy's mandated targets. After the project failed to meet the contracted electricity generation, NV Energy canceled the power purchase agreement in October 2019. The power company stated that, looking at the project's magnitude, it does not have enough credit reserves or new renewable capacity in the pipeline to cover long-term credit shortfalls. Furthermore, the electricity generated cost from the plant was around $135 per megawatt hour, which was very high as compared to the less than $30 per megawatt hour from a new photovoltaic solar farm in Nevada. Other than its shortcomings, the power plant was heavily criticized for its impact on the local environment. As a result of the extreme heat generated by the panels, many birds died and reportedly burst into flames in mid-flight. Another major issue that arose from reports was that workers were hospitalized after being exposed to nitrogen dioxide emitted by heat salt tanks. Owing to all these failures, Solar Reserve took down their own website and was believed to have permanently discontinued operations. The plant's actual state remained unknown for a few months while the parties involved sought legal redress. However, with things getting worse by the day, Solar Reserve filed for bankruptcy. claiming that the Department of Energy had wrongly taken over the solar energy project. In its complaint, Solar Reserve claimed that the LLC agreement allowed it the ability to pick one of Tonopah's managers. However, they stated in the lawsuit that the DOE sent a notice of default letter only days after Solar Reserve appointed a new manager, nominating 2 new members to Tonopah's Board of Managers. This gave the impression that the Energy Department controls Tonopah entirely through its hand-picked directors, who make up the whole Tonopah Board of Managers. According to the lawsuit, this prevented Solar Reserve from having a seat on the board, which meant that critical decisions that required a unanimous vote, such as bankruptcy procedures, were made without the developer's involvement. This finger-pointing game was in full gear, with heat coming down on everyone involved from the developer, Solar Reserve, the general contractor, ACS Cobra, and the owner, Tonopah Solar. ACS Cobra was held responsible for the plant's delayed completion and the supposedly flawed design of the molten salt tank. After a lengthy deliberation, the Department of Energy was able to collect $200 million of the funds in this complicated bankruptcy case. Furthermore, the Chapter 11 bankruptcy restructuring plan was confirmed by the court on December 3, 2020, and Cobra Thermo Solar, which was formerly a partner in the project's operation, was handed operational control of the plant. As the plant was closed without any measures, the turbine was overhauled. However, after satisfactory synchronization with the steam turbine, power production at the plant began on July 17, 2021. We hope you enjoyed the content of this video. If you did, show some love and hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our...
So there you go. It was just one debacle after another debacle.
Man.
Debacle. Government oversight, government grants, this organization,
Bankruptcy.
that organization, Department of Energy.
Sounds like fun.
Multinational corporation after multinational corporation, $1 billion and nothing to show for it. But the Department of Energy was able to recoup $200 million.
Good.
Yeah, and no power, no nothing. Oh yeah, and by the way, we now have new photovoltaic technology that produces power supposedly at $30 a kilowatt, which I call
Baloney.
I call baloney on those stats, but
all of those solar stats are, pretty iffy.
yeah, I call baloney.
So, to ever think that we would be able to do something like that and then it would be better than oil and gas is just silly.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying, yeah. So yeah, I thought that this was incredibly fascinating and just like a monumental, gigantic project that I've never heard about.
Never.
$1 billion. It incorporates and just takes up so much real estate. At least, I guess the best thing was it's like in the middle of an arid desert.
I guess so.
Which was fortunate, which is where I say, if you want to do all this solar panel stuff, put all these solar panels in the midst of all these arid deserts. Don't take up valuable farmland and valuable real estate where you can actually grow food. And
it was like, I think it was about an hour or so away from here. I was driving and I think I was going to go pick up some pigs or a cow or something. And we just passed by this is here in Texas, a gigantic solar field. I don't even know how many acres it was. And all the farmland around it is, nice and lush and green and everything. But then you just got this super man-made solar field. And it's just terrible because if you remove all those solar panels, it's really good, fertile land, or it used to be, and you could raise cows and chickens and have several homesteads on it and everything, but instead you have these solar panels that supposedly make electricity and pump it back into the grid or whatever.
And White Oak Pastures is doing a program where they rotationally graze their sheep amidst one of the solar projects there.
Okay, well that's cool.
In Bluffton, Georgia.
Yeah. Small scale solar power works. Big scale, not gonna do it.
Haven't seen it.
No.
haven't seen it work yet.
No.
We haven't seen it viable, and by the time it's supposedly viable,
you got to replace it.
yeah, the technology's better and it's changed
Yep.
and it's different, and
Gotta, update your batteries and
update your inverter.
Everything. Yep.
All right. So, anything else on this one, Matt? You want to cover?
That's it. That's it for today, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Just wanted to bring y'all this real quick. Maybe some of y'all have already seen this. Also, if y'all come across any like super cool topics or pretty crazy topics, remember to email us at countrytexasboys@gmail.com and we will react to it, possibly, if it's good enough. It's only me and Dad trying to figure stuff out and react to stuff and research and everything like that. So if we can have some of y'all be kind of like boots on the ground and just keeping your ears to the ground, I guess. And
whether
just,
it's a video or whether it's an article,
doesn't matter.
Share it, and we'd love to at least check it out and be in the know.
Yeah.
And we appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.